And we're back. Um, I'm here today to review The Incredible Hulk. It's been a while. I'm aware it's been a while, but we're back. We're back for good. For at least a little bit, and I'll probably take another break. Um, because guess what? Getting through the MCU, it's very grueling work. It takes a lot of effort. Um, so yeah, we're gonna have this video, and then we're gonna have a couple of quick little videos, and then we're gonna have Iron Man 2, Thor, all that. Um, I hope to kind of get through all of Phase 1's stuff in the next couple of days, so just be on the lookout for that. And then there have been rumors that the X-Men are going to show up in Doctor Strange 2, or just in the MCU in general, and it's going to be like the Fox X-Men and stuff, so be on the lookout for kind of updates to this list as I kind of reorder things if the X-Men do become canon. I'm not going to delete any videos or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of upload new ones, explain what in the order of release it would be in. Obviously, the first X-Men would be the first one, and whatever. But yeah. And then I can even talk about the convoluted X-Men timeline finally because it's canon. But I'm assuming that will happen in May when Doctor Strange 2 comes out, if it's going to happen at all. We really don't know. We really don't know. Could be X-Men 97 might become canon. That would technically be even earlier, you know. So yeah, I'm just kind of waiting around. That's all. I'm just waiting around for what Marvel wants to do. Um, I'm not gonna review the comics. Some of those just can't be canon, and also they're probably boring because you probably can't follow along anyway. No one really reads the MCU tie-in comics. I'm not gonna do any documentaries or anything like that. So I'm just doing pretty much any entry I can get my hands on, any piece of media that that's watchable. That yeah, we're gonna kind of go through all of that. I might do comics at a different point. Maybe splice them into the timeline. I have no idea, but for right now, that's a very big no. Um, for anyone who may have been asking that question. With that being said, a little bit of a prologue. Let's get into the Incredible Hulk. So I like this movie, and a lot of people don't. And I understand their complaints about the movie. For example, it doesn't really connect to anything else. Honestly, it's really not required watching for even the Avengers, which is pretty weird to say. I mean, he's on the run by the end of the movie, and he was on the run at the beginning of the movie. So, yeah, nothing happens in this movie, like at all. Like, literally nothing. The only thing in this movie that I can possibly depict that now matters to the MCU is, of course, the Abomination. Now, the Abomination made his first appearance since this movie in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And he looked a little different, but it was the same Abomination. They didn't, like, retcon anything. It turns out, when you put all that gamma in your body, it tends to mutate, so that's all it was. It was just a mutation. And Abomination is set to return She-Hulk along with people like, I believe Jenna Ross is, Liv Tyler. We're going to get a lot of these characters back for She-Hulk, which is very exciting news because I do enjoy this movie, and I wish that it was more connected to the MCU. Very happy it will be. However, this is not even my favorite movie in Phase 1, and it's certainly not um, anywhere near one of my favorites of the MCU, but it kind of shows you how much I enjoy this film series that I can take definitely their worst installments, one of their worst installments, and still really, really, really enjoy it. I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna give it like a 6.5 if we're going on a rating scale. But let's look at the main cast here. I mean, Edward Norton is a fine Bruce Banner. If he continued with the role, I not only would have been okay with it, but I would have been pleased. Him not continuing with the role also pleases me because I like Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. So you really couldn't have gone wrong with either guy. I think Mark is better for the job, but I really wouldn't have minded at all if Norton continued. Liv Tyler as Betty Ross. Thank God she's only in one movie. I do not like Liv Tyler in this movie. I don't know if she's a good actress, but she's not good in this movie. She doesn't suffer from the same problems that, people like MJ did. MJ's big problem was that she was just really, really annoying and inconsiderate. Betty's not really inconsiderate. She's a little annoying for sure, but she's not really inconsiderate. She just kind of has no importance at all. I love Betty Ross in the comics, but she's not it in this movie. Like, I'm just gonna, like, her performance is like a 3. She just does not sell me, and I do hope she does a. She'll probably do a better job in She-Hulk. I can't imagine that this was anything more than a one time thing. Uh, Look, I think it's just Universal. We'll just blame it on the production. I think it was just Universal. But we'll see. We'll see for sure. She might not be in the show. I feel like that might have just been a rumor, but I know Abomination should be in the show. We'll see when the show comes out, won't we? Tim Roth as he played Abomination. Honestly, Abomination's one of the worst Marvel movie villains because he's just kind of like they did this thing in the earlier movies, and I think they continue it up till. Oh my god, I have to think of one. No, even in that movie. Yeah, I'd say Thor: The Dark World is the first time that they had a villain that wasn't like exactly like the main protagonist in almost every way. Um, but certainly for these first two movies, it's very clear that like they just picked someone who was exactly like the main antagonist. No, I guess Thor and Loki aren't that similar, or the Frost Giants or whatever. So I guess you could say Thor, but yeah, I mean this guy is literally just Hulk but bad, So I can't. There's not a lot of layers to him. He just tries to become super powerful, and it doesn't really work out. Let's talk about timeline placement. Oh wait, there's one more main cast member. My bad, my bad. William Hurt as General Ross. Yeah, General Ross doesn't. He's a good character in that I like him better when he shows up in later movies, but I don't think he's like a good character right now. I think that he's kind of again like kind of one dimensional, just focus on one thing. I think a lot of the characters in the movie are kind of one dimensional, but it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that they only really focus on one thing. You could take that to mean if it's bad or not. I don't believe it does. So yeah, I mean the only one who really did bad was Liv Tyler. Everyone else did fine. Edward Norton did like good, but everyone else just kind of did fine, which is why the movie isn't so amazing. But I still gave it a 6.5. I might even give it a 6. 6.5 might be a little too high, considering this movie doesn't really do anything else for the MCU anyway. Now let's talk about placement. I placed Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 at the end of Loki, which makes sense, but Iron Man was placed around uh, the beginning of the timeline, quote unquote, because it will be the beginning until like next week when I review Captain America: The First Avenger. Anyway, I would put the Incredible Hulk at like after Iron Man, but you're gonna see Iron Man 2, and that's gonna be before the Incredible Hulk. Pretty much in every way, shape, or form, it's gonna be before the Incredible Hulk. Because if you notice in the pre-credit scene, as in just the final scene of the movie, Tony Stark walks in and he says we're building together a team. And you'll see in Iron Man 2 that he doesn't really want to build the team. So you're like, wait a minute. And I think a lot of people were like, wait a minute. So it turns out Incredible Hulk takes place after Iron Man 2. And it makes complete sense too. I don't know why they didn't just release it after Iron Man 2, but they didn't want to, so it's fine. It's completely fine. I'm just saying that it's a little weird. You know? That's all. Um I enjoy this movie. I think that despite the kind of confusing timeline placement, not really, but it's not a great timeline placement. This movie has really all of its faults were easily discarded. Like if you look at the MCU, like it's not like the lasting effects of the Incredible Hulk. Like no one cares. So if you're gonna make kind of a bad movie, at least have it be so that way it doesn't really matter to the main MCU, and that's what they did. So it's an okay movie. I would recommend you go watch it, but it costs money, so don't. Um, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Anyways, moving on.